Uh-huh. Oh, cool. Sway Like Love beaming in. They kindly let me go on. Hello, Sway Like Love beaming in. It's October the 9th again. Uh, I met God last year, and he handed me the cool light of God. Uh, I used to live in Florida. I was in Florida when I met him, and he handed me the light. I came onto it by admitting out of my mouth that I was evil. And if there was a God, I thought there was a God that he didn't want me to be. And by admitting out of my mouth that I was evil a million times, he said that's what it takes. Your soul has to believe uh, what you are. You're evil. You have evil in you, and you have light in you too. Daddy mixes it just right to send you here. Uh, and he said that's when he's gonna and to move from where I was at in Florida to where I'm at now, out of the city. He said just move out of the cities, and he explained to me why. He said Kim Jong Un, the leader of North Korea, is the most evilest soul here right now, and he told me what it takes to be evil. You have to sin and think it's funny. He said that's why he's always laughing at everything. He's always laughing at everything. If you notice, if you look, he's always laughing. Daddy said that he is going to sneak attack us. Daddy said he's got over 100 nuclear missiles, and it's not just us; it's other people in the world. He's going to sneak attack. That Armageddon is here, folks, and the whole heaven dear. We don't have much time left. If you want to prepare, move out the city, buy wind turbines, buy solar panels. I did. Daddy told me to do it. And I bought an electric car. He told me to buy that too. I bought an electric car. I bought a wind turbine. I bought solar panels. I moved from Florida. I didn't have much money, but I bought them. I bought a small wind turbine. I bought some solar panels. And I bought an electric car. You can get them cheap. You can get an electric car 4 or 5 grand. You can get one. They got them used. They've been out, I mean, I was a gas monkey. I didn't know. Daddy told me all this. God told me all this. God told me to do all this. When he handed me the light, he told me to do all this. He told me to move. So I moved. And he said that Kim, basically had love and light and still does have loved ones that love him. But he thinks we're coming in to kill him like we did Saddam Hussein. And he's seen how we did that. So he's going to do a preemptive strike on us. With his thought process being, he's not losing anything. Everybody over there wants to kill him. The 25 million people over there, they all want to kill him. The only army people that he talks with are with him, living like villages over there on the border of Russia. As where he's at, Daddy told me. He's got 2 palaces there, a little and a big one, by some rivers and some lakes, and he's got 300 years of food there. His men are living in little villages and stuff, dug in, and they got food too. And they're like normal, average, everyday citizens. It's just a small force to protect him. He knows he's not going to need much because his people will be dead. His plan is simple. He's going to fire dummy missiles along with the real ones, thousands of them. He's going to fire them out into the sea, thousands of dummy missiles with the real missiles to destroy our fleet over there in the Pacific, the fleet. And then he's going to fire thousands of dummy missiles with the real missiles to come over here and other places in the world too. He's not just got his target set on us. Remember, he is evil, the most evilest soul here right now. So any country that has love and light in it, and the easiest way to do that, Daddy said, is to go on your computer and where there's could be light and there's none, there's evil. So if you look at Kim's country, they got billions and billions of dollars. It's all spent on armaments and stuff. Daddy said we find all that evidence over there. We find evidence that he's been dealing drugs for China for years. We find all the Chinese type drugs and stuff already bagged up. China, when they wanted to open up to the West, Daddy said, got him in a dope game. Him and his dad 25 years ago. We find all that evidence over there. When we invade the country, we do have to still invade. We find out Kim's alive. And we have to go in and get him. We can't just shoot another nuclear missile over there. He's on the border of Russia. And the fallout from the ones that the president shoots over there is doing havoc to Russia and to China. Daddy said China is not founded on love and light. It's founded on evil. It will revert inward, as Russia will too. Daddy said, all the nuclear missiles just about that Kim has are Russian and China. They're Chinese and Russian. Everything we find, all the evidence is from Russia and China. All the nuclear missiles that Kim bought, all the chemical missiles that he's got are from China. Everything, everywhere we go, it's either Russian or Chinese armaments we find buried underground. We find in caverns. We find in storage huts. It's all Russian and Chinese made that he's been buying for years. Daddy said, and it's going to happen soon, folks. He moved me here. I met God last year, and he handed me the light of God, and he told me to move. And when you meet God, it's a lot. I was bedridden for 2 months. You know, it's a lot when you meet God. He's pure light. He came in he invaded my home like an alien. And he was pure light in my home, and it was a lot. He knew it was a lot on me, so he kept making me get up and eat and sleep and eat and sleep. There's a lot of information in your brain, the light of God, the knowledge that there is truly a God. I never knew there was. I thought there might be, just like everyone else. I never went to church. I thought there might be a God, and when I got in trouble, I prayed to God. You know, I wasn't going to pray to the other dude, but I prayed to God, and that's just the average person's life as I lived my whole life, you know, with autism. And my autism is I think and talk like a 5-year-old child all the time. So I'm basically like a 5-year-old child, but I'm a grown up. I do have a disability. I never thought of it as a disability. Other people have, you know, but I never did. And then I met God last year. I celebrated in August it being a year that I met him, and my brain finally started to work right. I was doing backflips in my body. My soul was doing backflips because I had met God. And first 6 or 8 or 9 months, I would speak, but the words would come out with other thoughts mixed in them. It'd come out, blah, blah, blah. It would come out in sentences, but it would come out with other stuff mixed in it too, due to my autism and due to meeting God and my soul doing backflips. It took me a year to finally get my soul where it's still jumping in my body. My soul's still jumping in my body because I met God. But the finally where it's not flipping in my body. It was just flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping. There were angels there too. They were all flipping too. It was pretty awesome, I have to say. And then he told me the sad news that he did not want to tell me. And he told me I didn't have to say a word to anybody. You know, Daddy told me I didn't have to tell anybody Armageddon was here. And I said, you know, I kind of do. I tried to get my family to move. I tried to tell other people. I tried to get my neighbor to move, everybody. I tried to get the lady at the store to move. I tried to tell everybody, as I try to tell people here to prepare. And it's hard for people. I understand that, you know, first I got a disability, so it's hard. And then to tell them, not only did I meet God and he handed me the light of God, but this too, you know, Armageddon is here and the whole heaven, dear. And it's a lot. And that's why Daddy told me I didn't have to say a word to anybody. But I said I kind of do. You know, I am the monkey that doesn't care what people think about me due to my autism my whole life. Because a lot of times I'll start talking like a little boy. You know, I was told, you know, not to. You're grown up. You're grown up. You're grown up. You're growing up as a child to stop being a little baby. So I stopped doing it due to the way people treat me. But every now and then it does come out, me not knowing it. I talk like a little kid. You know, act like a little baby, act like a little 5-year-old child. I like a little 5-year-old child anyway. But every now and then I talk like I did when I was 5, you know, and it's hard for people. I understand that, you know, I get it. But I tell everybody I meet that I met God. He handed me the light of God, how I met him, and what's coming up. Armageddon is here in the whole heaven there. And we do get sneak attacked by North Korea. He thinks we're coming in to kill him once again, like Saddam was saying. If you're receiving this message, I always say this in the video I make, stay inside for a week. Daddy said, God said we get sneak attacked with chemical missiles too. They're chemicals, North Korea's secret weapon. That is a secret. No one knows about it. It's a chemical substance that's in a powder clear form that's like a snowflake, like a dust, that the missiles come over here and blow like dust in the wind, Daddy said. He said it lays on everything and sticks to everything for a week. It takes for the chemical to dissipate and can wash it away. Daddy said one little piece makes you go insane in the brain. as if you are criminally insane. Daddy said love and light is trapped inside of a demon, as what it makes you do. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of chemical Daddy said they've been working on for years, and they refined it. And he's got all the old chemical weapons. We find all them too. The old ones that he bought from Russia and China. And he's got all this new stuff on there. We find the machines that put it in the missiles and everything over there, Daddy said. The machines that make it. We find the labs that make it and everything. Because those are all underground. And when we lay waste to North Korea, we're going to lay waste to where Kim wants us to lay waste to. Daddy said he's got his truck launchers positioned in cities that he wants destroyed. And the first round of missiles that leave North Korea were the real missiles. There are no other real missiles coming out. It's the first button he pushes with thousands of dummy missiles with the real missiles. That was it. He orders his soldiers to keep firing on the truck launchers in the cities, dummy missiles. So what they do is they reload and they fire and they reload, and it gets to what there's missiles coming out from everywhere. The president has no choice but to lay waste to all of it. The president's order is fire a nuclear missile back to any missile that had already came out of North Korea, because he doesn't know if another one's coming out, and fire a missile to any missile that's still coming out of North Korea. And that does it. That lays waste to North Korea. Kim thinks he'll be safe over there on the border of Russia in his underground fortresses, which he's got him set up where he will be safe. He's got 300 years of food there, you know, and he thinks we'll think he's dead. He's never going to come out of hiding, you know. We'll think he's dead, but we find out he's alive, and we have to physically go in and dig him out of the ground at that point. Daddy said we got these big tanks. I looked online. We do. They're as big as giant homes. Daddy said we put radiation boosts on them. They can hold like 100 men, and it's going to take us a year. He said the whole country is going to be in shock because of this for a year. Our military is the best in the world. They are going to kick some butt, some evil butt. Daddy said the Arab world makes a big mistake by declaring war on us when they see what happened. They don't realize that our military didn't get touched. It was our civilians that got killed. That our military is still intact. A part of our fleet got destroyed over there, and some soldiers got destroyed over there. And that, but they do not realize the military that we have, that God told me He'd give to us because we are founded on God. Some of the weapons that Daddy told me we have, I didn't want to say them. I didn't want to speak them. But we got some weapons that you're going to see come out that if you fart, before it could come out your body, it's thinking it incinerates you like a dust mite, and you don't know where it came from. Daddy told me we got so many weapons, and they're from him. He said the stuff we got in our military that no one knows about is awesome, and it's all from him. It's all from God. God said He loves this country, and He's sad right now because of what's getting ready to happen. And angels are coming from everywhere to be with Him, and He's taking all the angels off the earth right now. His children, we are His unborn children. We are in the womb being born. This is what baby gods do. They live like being born. Your birth. Daddy said, in order to be born of this world, you have to have your life with no evil killing you. That's how it has to be. You have to have your 60, 70, 80, 90 years, whatever it is, 100 years, where you live your lifespan and no evil killed you. And you know that there is a God. You believe in God, and you know there's a hell, and you know penance to be paid. Then you can be born of this world. And so think about how hard that is. When you read in the paper every day and you see what people do, you see what Kim does over there, how he murders everything, kills everything, rapes everything. And you see what the other countries do. They just murder everything, kill everything. So you can get a feeling of how hard it is to be born of this world and how precious this country is to Daddy. That this country has never went wrong. He wants everybody to know that this country has went more right. It's never went wrong. It's what people don't understand is it's freedom is what He is. It's the freedom to be as you wish to be. Like I said before, the freedom to be who, if you wish to be that. It's freedom, and you can see it. We have churches from every denomination. Trust me, I've been to all of them. I got a list of people I had to tell. I finally met a rabbi and told him the other day I met God. He handed me the light of God. And I got a list I go through. I haven't got to an astronaut yet. I called and tried to leave a message. And I hope it got through to him. I done did the president a million times. I met God. I sent him letters. I send him texts all the time. I sent him my books. I wrote a book about the president. I wrote a book about Kim, and I wrote a book about meeting God. And I wrote another book, and I'm writing some more books. And I'm setting up a charity organization that where all this money, if I ever make any money from it, it'll go to the light of God, and it'll be done something good with it. It's Daddy's money. It's not none of me. I do not have the brains to write books. I never did. I'm a 5-year-old child. I barely got hardly that much of an education. But Daddy told me everything to say. Daddy told me what to write. He showed me how to do all this stuff. So it's all his. He said the way people worship God is the way they'll worship Him there. If you're a Jew, whatever that means, or you're a Christian, whatever that means, I do not know. I do not know what a Muslim means. I don't know none of that stuff. I hear what people say, but I do not know. It's called religion. I heard, but I've never been religious. I haven't been in religion. I don't believe in it. And Daddy said that you'll see if you do make it there, there's a little bit of everybody in the world in heaven. Even the pygmy man in the jungle is up there in heaven. Even the African man on the plains, you will find in heaven. Love and light is the key. Daddy said, Jesus coming here, and the book is a handbook to help people. There's things that he puts here to help people, kind of a guideline to help people to believe in God, just like any book, Buddha, anything he wrote, Gandhi, when Gandhi was here, all of these guys that promoted love and light is the key. He said any book here that is of love and light is him. And he said love is translated in the light. We are beings of light. The Big Bang is our home. That's when we're born and we're out there. And that is heaven, the Big Bang, all the galaxies. Go to NASA like I do. I done fill my computer up. I'm going on twice, and I got a brain to put everything in of every galaxy. They're taking so many awesome pictures. They're putting a new one up too, and I'm excited about that. The war happening, folks. It's not the end of the world, Daddy said. It's the beginning of heaven on earth. Of what it says in the book of Jesus coming back, Daddy, basically, when he can put his foot down on the planet, the whole planet, and it be sanitized. And believe it or not, we do that. We find a way to get rid of garbage. We automatically get rid of nuclear missiles, and we automatically get rid of nuclear power plants. And he said in 50 or so years, the children of the war will be the ones with computer science and nuclear science to invent nuclear power with no spent rods and no nuclear waste. And the machines that we build from that nuclear power will actually incinerate the nuclear waste we already have. We do it, he said, and it's the children from the war. He said the radioactive dust is going to do two things. It's everything he said in life is from 1% all the way to 100. So it's going to make people born deformed. It's going to make people born what you call retarded. And it's going to make people 10 times and more brilliant and smarter than Albert Einstein. And those are going to be the children of the war that go to college, and computer science and nuclear science are going to mesh together, and they are going to invent nuclear power, nuclear fusion, whatever it is, with no byproduct of spent rod. I wouldn't have a clue how you do it. Some days I can't even talk right. So I wouldn't have a clue how you do it, but I am going to go to school to try and learn it. I'm going to go and take the first year's class, computer science. I don't know anything about it, but I'm going to go because of what Daddy said, just to see if I can get some knowledge of what's going to go on, and to go do it. I've never been to school. I have basically a 5th grade education here. I'm not illiterate, but I don't have a lot of brains. I don't have to say I have a lot of brains. I tell people that when I move. No, I don't. You don't know me from where I lived at. I'm a dumb monkey, but I'm a smart monkey. It gives me certain ability, smartness, but I've never held myself above anyone. I've always held myself the same as every person on the planet. I don't see myself no different than the president. And I see myself no different than Kim. Nobody on the planet I see myself any different than. I never seen nobody better than me or me better than anybody. For whatever that's worth, it's just the monkey I am. But it's Sway Like Love. I've been going on for 20 minutes. Armageddon's here, folks. Whole heaven, dear. I met God, Daddy, last year. He handed me the light, the cool light of God, and it's here. Daddy said all his children, he took off the earth and the race. He's land behind this land. He said all the planets are on beams, on anchors. We're anchored to the sun, but it's a beam of light coming out from the sun to every planet, and it's anchored, and that's how they spin. And we're hanging up in the air, and there's no land underneath us, so evil cannot get to us. We're protected. He said the only way to get to this planet is his way. That's the way you walk. He has his own sway. He has his own way, and that is the only way to get here. Evil will not come mess with his children. He gives protection and love to everyone, even Kim. I asked him why he couldn't lighten bolt of Kim's butt, and he told me why. He said Kim has every right to be here, as you do, as everyone else, as Donald Trump does. And he told me, son, there are really awesome angels in heaven today that have turned from the darkness, that were more evil than Kim, and turned from the darkness to the light of God, and are really awesome angels in heaven today. And that's what made me make my decision right there when Daddy told me that, to dedicate my life to trying to help turn people from the darkness to the light, to show people what they're doing is darkness. And it's okay. You need to go through it. You need to do it. Daddy said you need to do it. You have to go through it and work through it. That's what sin is. If you notice, you sin in succession, Daddy told me. And when he told me that, I realized that you do. You'll sin and then you'll stop. Because he said it's hard for the soul to digest sin. So you sin, and you take a break. And you sin, and take a break. That's not by coincidence. It's hard for your soul to digest the sin that you do. I know it's hard for people to believe every sin the same, but Daddy said it is. Every single sin is the same. A sin is a sin is a sin. If you're sinning, you're sinning, and that's your sin you need to go through. The way your soul is built is of birth, just like when you have a child. Your child's soul is built of birth of what we know as DNA. All of us have darkness and light of different. And even if our darkness is the same, it's still different. If you sin in a certain way and the other person's does too. If you ask them, their sin is always a little bit different than yours. And he said, this is all his children are different. We all have darknest life. And he said, we dance hand in hand throughout eternity, like the Waltz, like that dance, that old school dance where they change partners, helping each other out. That's what physical attraction is. You don't realize it. But when it's time's up with your partner or whoever you with, and you get in a fight and you break up, you need to split your separate ways because you've done giving and taking from each other what you can to help, and you move on to the next person. He said it's all works beautifully. Everything may seem chaotic in life, but it's not. It works on a beautiful orchestrated scale that is beautiful and nature by design, the way Daddy designed it. Sway Like Love beaming out. It's been 23 minutes. I've never did one this long. I don't like doing them because people don't want to watch for 23 minutes. It's Sway Like Love beaming out. It's October the 9th. Armageddon is here once again, folks. Whole heaven, dear. You heard it here. We get sneak attacked by North Korea. Stay inside for a week. Chemical missiles too. Sway Like Love beaming out.